Good morning, everyone. This is our fifth and last online session regarding learning activity number 4. We're going to wait maybe 2 more minutes to see if somebody else logs in. Okay, this is it. We have learning activity number 4. You can see on your screen we have when you click on learning activity 4 over here, you will see the information for activity 4. Then you see learning activity. Oh, that's a little difficult here. You can see it. Learning activity, and you click on the PDF document. We're going to see the PDF document. This is the aprendizaje número 4. We have a very short introduction. It says, bienvenida a la actividad de aprendizaje número 4. Sugerir hipótesis sobre situaciones haciendo uso de la estructura gramatical y el vocabulario pertinente sobre una información en USAT 5. And we have resultado de aprendizaje, plantear hipótesis sobre situaciones haciendo uso de la estructura gramatical y el vocabulario requerido. There are some important aspects here. The first activity is 3.1, estructura didáctica de las actividades de aprendizaje. 3.1, actividades de reflexión inicial. We have to read the material Our World by 2050 and read the materials Support materials. So we have 2 documents to read. Today we're going to check only these documents. We have some important recommendations here, like go to the internet to have some extra information and extra material. All the evidences are in English, and if you have questions, you can use the questions and concerns forum over here. Good. 3.2, actividades de contextualización e identificación de conocimientos necesarios. The first evidence is the Cross River gorilla. There is a text that you have to read about an animal species that is endangered. The second part is to read information to find the causes affecting this animal. With this information, you have to write a text describing the causes. The third part of the activity is that you have to make an audio recording in which you present the hypothetical scenarios to help and prevent the extinction of this animal. You have to download a document, and these are the instructions for you to do the activity. So that is evidence number 1, the Cross River gorilla. Some important information, you can only send only one, the 2 files. And this is very important, check that the document is closed. If not, the platform is not allowing you to do the activity. Evidence number 2, what if? For evidence number 2, you have to go to the platform and do the interactive activity, what if? You will have to follow the instructions, specifically in the multimedia exercise. Then we have the evidence number 3, if I were a man, if I were a woman. This is a forum in which you have to participate based on 2 topics. If you're a woman, describe the things that you would do differently if you were a man. The opposite is, if you're a man, what would you do different if you were a woman? Then you have to read some of your partner's participations, choose one, and respond to that photo. These are the instructions to participate in the photo. Evidence number 4 is, what would you change if your loved ones asked you to? This is a question. You have to read a letter by a child who lives in the future, and then you have to respond, to reply, to answer that letter. You have to download this document and read the information. These are the instructions to do the activity. Finally, we have a consolidation activity. It's about all the contents that you studied during the learning activities. There are 2 stages. 1, you have to record a video narrating 2 moments that are memorable in your life, in your childhood, and then do 3 practical exercises in which you contextualize the use of different conditions that you learned in this lesson. And these are the instructions for you to do the activity. Then we have the online session, which is what we are having right now. So we have 1, the forum, 2, interactive activity, 3, the CrossFit Gorilla, 4, the online session, 5, would you change if your loved ones ask you to, and 6, the consolidation activity. These are the criteria for evaluation, and these are the strategies for evaluation. All right. In number 4, we have the vocabulary that you will have to use in this unit. It's a little long, so you need to study this vocabulary in detail. It's a lot of animals and a lot of things to the environment. You can check this material if you want to check extra information. Good. Let's continue. The second document is the material Our World by 2020. We're going to click on the downloadable version of this material. This usually is a very long text, so we're going to go through it very quickly. The idea is that you study the material and you go to the internet and get extra information, extra grammar, extra vocabulary for you to reinforce. So this is the text, Our World by 2015. We have a very short introduction. We will use hypothetical or impossible situations. The second conditional, vocabulary about animals and their natural habits, vocabulary about endangered species and extinction, and a general review of conditionals. So there are 3 important things we're going to study here. Second conditional is plus past simple and would and infinitive. Animals in extinction and endangered species, and making decisions using the 0, first, and second conditional. So let's go to the first conditional, the first topic, that is second conditional. We have a very short example here, a conversation. The guy asks a question, Nicole, if you could live in another time period, what time period would you choose and why? I would choose either the 30s for the elegance of the outfits or the 70s for the hippie clothes and awesome music. This is just an example, and there are more examples in the conversations. Then we have a little bit of analysis on the grammar structure. If you come back in another life, who or what would you like to be? We have the condition, comma, and the result. Again, we have the condition, comma, and the result. And the result. Second example, condition, comma, result. Here we have the grammar structure. In this case, it's a little different. He would pass the course if she studied more. No comma is necessary. They would travel abroad if they spoke English. We have more examples of what is correct and incorrect use of the condition. And then, the final examples. Very important, you can use where or was, no problem. You can say if she was or if she were. This is one exception in English. Number 2, animals in extinction and endangered species. You see some vocabulary here that you will have to study in English and Spanish. More vocabulary about animals depending on their habitat. So this is a swamp animal. This is a savanna animal. This is a jungle animal. And this is a forest animal. So the organization, the classification of animals is according to their habitat. And finally we have desert and Arctic animals. We have a conversation talking about endangered species in animals. We have some examples of animals that are critically endangered, like the black rhino. This is the Latin name. The mountain gorilla, and the mountain tiger. The blue whale, the African elephant, the great white shark, Galapagos penguin, and others. Number 3 is making decisions using the 0, first, and second conditionals. So remember, 0 conditional is when I have the condition in the present, the result in the present. The first condition is a little different, the first conditional, because the condition is in the present, but the result is in the present or in the future. Okay? And then we have the second conditional that we studied before in this unit. After all this information, we have examples and some exercises for you to read and do when you have a little more time. This is the comprehension exercise here and grammar exercise. We have a practice section, number 1, and practice section number 2. Alright, so that is basically the information for this document. Good. So remember the evidences. Number 1, the Cross River gorilla. Number 2, the interactive activity, what if. Number 3, if I were a man or if I were a woman. Remember, this is a forum. Number 4, will you change if your loved ones ask you to? Number 5, consolidation activity. And for some of you, we have the program evaluation survey that is automatically visually for you. So probably it's not visual for you right now in this moment. Now we're going to Conditionals. I suggest English page because it's a very complete website. So you have this website, you have a lot of exercises, and you have here the classifications of the conditionals. Conditional 0, conditional 1, and conditional 2. There is another conditional that you don't study in this course, but you can study at home if you want to, maybe later. Okay, so that is basically the information I had to share with you today. I'm going to say online a little bit more if you need some extra information. Thank you for attending. Remember, you can contact me via WhatsApp or via the Questions and Concerns forum. Have a good day.